Hi Aries, welcome to the new moon in Sagittarius reading for December 12th, 2023. New moons begin new cycles, and we're going to first look to see what direction this reading is going in. I am not in my usual place, so I don't have all my decks with me, but we're going to use what we have. So the direction that the reading is going is increase, which is really nice. It's a number 3, and it's a new cycle, so it's perfect for what's going on here. There is going to be some kind of increase. Now, even if the card is reversed, it still says increase, but it also mentions that it may be a little bit slower in coming. So, increase no matter what, right? That's the direction the reading is headed in. Let's see what your focus is for the next 2 weeks. I'm just going to use the regular tarot deck for this, and because I don't have the other one with me. But you have the Two of Swords, so there can be some choices where increase is concerned. The Two of Swords is the moon in Libra, and there may be some decisions that need to be made with this card. The idea of the card is to, because it's Libra, they can see both sides of a situation, making it a little more difficult to make a decision. And so you can be putting a lot of focus, a lot of attention on a decision that needs to be made, and that can have something to do with finances, but increase can happen in a lot of ways. So let's see what's going on here and why you got that. I'm going to lay the cards out first. So the first column is what the new moon is bringing in for you, or where you find yourself at the time of the new moon. And then the second column is you and how you see the whole situation, or how you're dealing with the whole situation, how you're behaving, how you're acting. And that's a tough card, but so far we have a couple of swords, so there can be a lot of mental activity, which goes along with that Two of Swords. Yeah, Queen of Swords, yikes. Okay. Aries. And then the last column is the likely outcome, the probable outcome, because forewarned is forearmed. Yeah, a lot of swords, some confusion. Let's move this a little bit further out of the way. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of blue here, so a lot of mental activity, even with the other cards. All right, let's get started. Okay, the first column we have the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Cups. And it's interesting because you have a lot of people around you. All these lower cards are people. So this is my yes card. The Ace of Swords is a yes answer for you. It is clarity. So it can be that you are making this decision because you are better informed with that Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is the triumphant security card. Because it's an ace, the aces hold the entire cycle from beginning to end, and it does mean that you're going to have to take up some sort of action. And remember, the sword cuts both ways. The sword suit is not the easiest one. It's very mental, but it's also quite active, and it can be a little bit confrontational. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks a bit confrontational. And this can have something to do with the Queen of Cups. But the Queen of Cups is either giving you some sort of security or yes answer, or asking you to take some sort of action. Or because of her, you take some sort of action. Now, the Queen of Cups is my Scorpio card. They don't have to be Scorpio. They can just be behaving like one. This person can be round in features. You would look at their chin, or their face or even their hands, but there's roundness to them. They are a very emotional type of person and quite psychic or intuitive, but they are highly, highly concentrated on their emotional world. All right, let's see where this is going. So you have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, there is some action being taken because of this person, but it's a yes answer, so it's quite good. That's interesting. Okay. So it feels like you can have an intuitive feeling about a situation. You may have to take action where in the past you were unable to, and it feels like those blocks may be lifting. And because the Eight of Swords is feeling as if we are unable to make a move or to affect a solution. 8 is a powerful number, and so the 8 says that it puts a lot of energy behind what it is you're doing, and this is a struggle card, so you can be putting a lot of energy behind some struggle. And this card often says, wait until the situation turns in your favor, and it appears like that may be this time now. With that yes card, it's like yes, go, yes, take action, whereas prior to that you were unable to. Or this person wasn't able to, this Queen of Cups. Because, and you know, this can be something that can be a little bit confrontational, because if this person is taking up the sword, taking action, it feels kind of like there's a drama being played out here. Now, these are your cards and how you're behaving. So that Five of Swords is asking you to mind the impact of your words. And this card is how you are behaving, which is the Queen of Swords. And they are highly confrontational people. They have no problem saying what they need to say. What they're trying to do is to clear their mind, get answers, see things clearly. Now, this is the clarity here, but it's not with you. It's with this Queen of Cups. And so she may be offering you some sort of clarity. And it can be because there is something that was very hard won with that Five of Swords. You may get what you want, but it's not the way you want it. It's not a complete win. There is triumph here, right? There's triumph and security. This is a win, but it may not be the way you want it to be. And this person can speak quite harshly, so you may be, that's why I'm saying it's the impact of your words. It's kind of like those are fighting words kind of scenario situation, because she can be very, very critical and very harsh. And you have the King of Swords there as well, and they're often not easy people to deal with. And that's what I'm saying, like the sword suit is quite confrontational. It's very active, but it can be a bit harsh. And that's that color blue, right? That coolness, that aloofness that you would get with that Queen of Swords and the King of Swords as well. It can also be that for somebody, or for some people out there, I'm trying to keep it general, that something has taken place here where maybe somebody was getting started with something here, the action, right? They're taking action on something, or there was a yes answer, and maybe you put a stop to it because all of a sudden there's this Eight of Swords where like, okay, I don't have things under control. I can't make that move that I really wanted to here because you yourself may have put a stop to it. Now again, with the increase card, maybe you are partnering up with this person, or this is a family member or a good friend, and things may come to a bit of a halt. Maybe you thought that things could go forward now, and the brakes got put on. Now with the increase card, it could be that you were getting things started, and the increase is then slower to come because of this, because of that Five of Swords. There's just some dramas that are being played out with that Five of Swords card, and the decisions that need to be made. The one thing I do say here, and I do see it quite clearly, is clarity. Like, I think we want some answers here. with that Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords, and she'll go to great lengths to get answers. Not as much as the Page of Swords, but the problem is with this person is they can easily cut somebody or something off, dead in its tracks. And that's why I say maybe things get going here and then all of a sudden it gets shut down somehow. But you still have increase, and that's still a really good, positive card. Let's see what's going on with that Five of Swords and the Queen of Swords and how you're behaving or how you're dealing with the situation. The Five of Swords is not a complete win because somebody, maybe somebody you love, right? A relative, a friend, somebody in your close circle, or even for some work, though I don't see that here. I don't see Pentacle. And I do feel with all those swords, there can be a lot of communication, so it can just be things that are communicated. Yeah, see, you have two things here that are sort of like bringing things to a halt, stopping them, and big changes coming with the Death card. I do kind of want to draw another one for that. After a period of pressure, though, things will go forward again. You'll have a small triumph with this card. But it is after a period of pressure, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. So I think these 2 weeks can be that period of pressure. And like I said, this was the all go, right? This is take action through clarity. But things get stopped with those two cards. This one is the person doesn't have things in their hands. This one is big changes. But it does bring you something better. And so it's very possible, especially with that Eight of Swords, that you shouldn't take action now, or the action that you take will get halted and continue on later. Because in this row here we have the Seven of Cups, which is choices and confusion within those choices. However, the King of Swords is quite decisive. This is my Libra card, and this one is my Virgo card. Both of them will have very sharp features, and so they can have possibly, pointy chin, sharp cheekbones. The Queen of Swords is also somebody who's often, not always, but often very refined. And the King of Swords is the master of his mental world. And so I find that quite interesting that he has the Seven of Cups there. Now, again, there are choices to be made, but this brings some emotional choice. And the King of Swords is not somebody who takes that sentimentality into his decision making. So maybe that's where it kind of stops him a little bit. Okay, with that you have the Sun card. So I do think there'll be some illumination here. This is a very social card, it's a very happy card. And if there are decisions that need to be made, the Sun card usually illuminates what is the right decision. So the Seven of Cups is like the 7 planets that have something to offer you. And you have to kind of make that decision. You have to make one choice. It can also be that we're building sort of we have grand ideas, but very often they just stay a grand idea. And it can be difficult to ground those ideas and make something really physical from it. But for me, it feels like a bit of a choice that needs to be made. And the Seven of Cups, within all these choices, all these grand choices, asks, what does the heart want? And again, that can be kind of difficult for a King of Swords because they use their logic. And the Seven of Cups, again, asks, what does the heart want? So there can be that indecisive energy for a bit. But I do feel like it does come, there's illumination with the Sun card. And I do think that we eventually understand what it is that we want in the direction that we're going. Now, in all of these cards, in all of the last two columns especially, there is something good that comes from it, and I do see increase here, whether that's increase in activity, increase in conversation. I definitely see a lot of conversation going on here. But this is usually about the things of the earth, so, you know, maybe more clients, more money, increase, right? And I want to just kind of see where that increase is going. Well, it can be invitations. This is an interesting card. And it kind of goes well with this one because it's a happier, jovial card. It can be invitations that come in from out of the blue to enjoy yourself, to have some good times. It's a festive time of year, so maybe your energy is also up, your emotions are up. This can be also in the workplace. It can be a very a nurturing kind of energy if it is in the workplace. But this is quite nice, and this goes very nicely here. But the question in my head was, what are we increasing here? What's being increased? And with that Knight of Cups, it can be more of an open heart, the need to play more, the need to enjoy life a little bit more. And even though I see quite a bit of struggle here with these cards, right? Because this is taking action, and it is the beginning of that cycle of it's a sword. So we're in some activity here. We're in a phase of I don't really want to say fight, but struggle and activity, right? A lot of heavy activity, especially with these two cards. The Five of Swords is a very difficult card for me. I think it's like humiliation. And with that Queen of Swords, I think we have to really be careful of our words. And so this can even be an increase in kindness, just avoiding the dramatic situations. And this card, the Five of Swords, often says that if you want to avoid dramas, it's important to leave your ego at the door. And that's exactly what the King of Cups, or the Knight of Cups would do. They're just there to have a good time. They're just there to enjoy themselves. They don't want to get embroiled in anything. And with that Sun card, it's kind of the same. This can be like a increase in social activity. And it's a little bit like, because you do have a lot of people around you. And the Eight of Cups can just be, well, whose party do I accept, or where do I go this weekend, or we have invitations to go to these particular places for Christmas, and who do we choose, and what would be the most fun, really, because you do have a lot of people here. And maybe you said yes to one person, but you can't go. There's been a switch, something happened, and there's going to be a change of plans, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be terribly difficult. It doesn't have to be dark and ominous. It can just be as simple as, yes, we've made plans, we said yes to this person, and maybe they all of a sudden can't go, and we have to do the switch. It can just be something like that. It can be an increase in activity. And there are choices with that Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups. There are definitely choices for you in the next 2 weeks. You may have to be the bearer of bad news. That can be the Queen of Swords and the Five of Swords, and be the bearer of bad news and say, yeah, I'm sorry, we can't make it to your party or your festivity or what have you. It can just be as simple as that. So I do have another deck with me, and it's a strange little deck. I got it a long time ago in England at the Arthur Findlay College for mediumship, and it was a gift to me, but I thought I would use it. I usually pick a daily card with it, and it's like a unicorn deck or something, but it was a nice gift, and it's always been accurate for me. Okay, so what does Spirit want you to know? It says, call a friend today, a prompting. And so, yeah, there is some conversation here with friends on either side here, because you're the Queen of Swords. And so there may be an increase, like I said, an increase in calls, that sort of thing. But there is definitely somebody you're going to have to make a call to and be the bearer of news, whether that's good news or bad news on this side, good news on that side, or you receive a call. But it is saying call a friend today. So that is a prompting. You're going to feel like you need to speak to somebody, with an important message. It's obviously you're going to be calling somebody during the next 2 weeks, but there would be a particular reason why you would have to do that, to make some calls. So there's a lot of thought going on here. There's a lot of air, so that's in the activity of an active mind and an active body, with the Ace of Swords and the Five of Swords. I kind of want to keep it general, but I do really have the feeling like we're going to have to forego one thing for another. For somebody, I feel like maybe there can be a bit of a clash where invitations are concerned. So maybe I'll give you a scenario. You invite somebody, and let's say your partner invites somebody else and they don't get along, and there can be sort of a drama that plays out, It can be within family members, it can be friends. And like I said, we're just trying to keep the peace here. And maybe one person decides not to show up after all. It's that kind of vibe, it's that kind of energy that I'm feeling. Because there is some confusion there, like, okay, what do we do now, kind of thing. But it all gets settled. And in the end, it really is sort of like a good time with that Sun card, the Knight of Cups, and the Six of Wands. Or maybe it's like somebody wasn't able to come, and then there was a big switch, and then they were able to come after all, and it all works out in the end. Kind of energy. Because with this blockage here, there's this sort of a stop and go energy. Like, yes, I'm coming, and then, oh, now I can't, kind of thing. Yeah, see, kind of holding our ground. This is holding back, holding on. And it's the only pentacle card, so it can just be that maybe they didn't have the money for it after all, or they prefer to spend their money or time somewhere else that isn't as expensive, that kind of thing. Because the Four of Pentacles is a bit of a, it's called the Miser card. It is the Sun in Capricorn, however, and so there's a very empowering energy with that. And for me, that goes very nicely with both cards, because this is self-empowerment, and that would go great with the Ace of Swords, but it's also holding back, and that goes good and supports the Eight of Swords card, because we're holding back, right? We're not doing what we said we were going to do. But it can be because of financial restriction, which could even be work, I can't come because I couldn't get the time off, that kind of thing. If it is you, the Four of Pentacles is very much, when we're talking about increase, this is holding on to what we have to create good, strong foundations, or just because out of fear of not having enough. But we have the increase card here, which is really good, because it says, right, as we progress, there'll be more. Whatever it is that you're holding back on, whatever it is you're not doing, there will be increase. Maybe that's Christmas bonuses or something like that. That's also very possible. So I will leave it there. I'll keep it nice and general, but I hope it's been helpful. Thank you for listening. I'll return in 2 weeks with a full moon reading. Take good care until then. Bye.